Hey guys, Dave Gass, and today we lost another public icon from our youth, if you're Gen X, like me. And I have a pretty good story about Hulk Hogan. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. I used to be the biggest wrestling fan, like insane wrestling fan. I believed it was real. I actually took the T, or which is the train, to Boston Garden to see Bruno Sammartino's comeback against Cowboy Bob Duncan from a broken neck. That's how crazy. I was probably 14. Picture a 14-year-old doing that today. On my own, well, with my friend Alan. Anyways, my Hulk Hogan story. Back, I believe it was 1980. And there's a place in Massachusetts called Fall River, Massachusetts. And it's iconic. A lot of celebrities come from there. It's where Lizzie Borden allegedly killed her parents. And it's a mill town. But there was a place called the Bank Street Armory. You couldn't go to a better place to see wrestling. And, you know, one of our friends, our parents would take us to the city to go see wrestling. I think WWF would go there once a month. And, I mean, the big stars would go there. And, like I said, there was no social media. There was none of that stuff. So, but I was able to verify some of this story, but I know it happened. I was there. So, in 1980, at the Bank Street Armory, Hulk Hogan, he was a heel. He was a bad guy. And he was fighting Andre the Giant. Now, Hulk got there first. And he was new to the scene. And please excuse the wind noise. It's windy today. And he pulled up in a Lincoln Town Car. It was a very subtle purple metallic. Not like, brrr, no. It was a classy looking Lincoln Town Car. And he gets out, and he was with a guy that could have been his twin. I don't know if it was another wrestler, a brother of his. I don't know who it was. They get out of this car, and they were just, so 1980, I was probably 13 or something, towering over everybody. And like I said, you could go right up to these guys. There was no security back then. There was no nothing. But the thing about Fall River, it's full of Portuguese people. And back then, most of them couldn't even speak English, but they loved wrestling. It was an obsession. They believed it was real, like I believed it was real. And he gets out of the Lincoln, and he's getting yelled at, and the whole bit. And him and his guy, maybe it was a bodyguard, I don't know. They went into Bank Street Armory. Andre shows up. Oh my God. He was so big. And I honestly, 100% got to shake his hand, which my hand looked like a pebble in his hand. But I was geared up. So it was Hulk Hogan. Hogan was the bad guy, and Andre was the good guy. This was before Andre ever became a heel. Something happened in the match, and Andre got hurt. So Hulk was like booed out of the place. But there was so minimal security. And WWF back then was basically East Coast based, New England based. You'd see local wrestlers that were like just, Saturday morning beat around guys. They'd be working at local gas stations, variety stores, whatever. You'd see them everywhere if you went to the city. And so Hulk Hogan, I guess he won the match or something, and it went bad. Some Portuguese guy, a little Portuguese guy, I'm standing right there. The guy picks up a boulder in the parking lot, and it was like a gravelly parking lot. It was nothing fancy. And this place is just a gym. It's just a little place. You were like right there on top of everybody. It probably fit a couple hundred people, maybe 1,000 people. Nah, not even 1,000. But this Portuguese guy picked up a boulder and threw it through the moonroof of the Lincoln Town Car. It was insane. But on that night, And it was funny because Hogan actually said it on Joe Rogan's podcast that he got fired that night from the WWF. Nothing to do with the match or the boulder or none of that stuff. He called Vince McMahon Sr. and told him, hey, I need a break from the schedule. I just got cast in Rocky 3. And Vince Sr. fired him. I don't know what, I'd have to look what happened after that and how they all patched things up and everything. But this guy, he made everybody so rich. Wrestling was kind of dead at the time. Bob Backlund had been the champion for years. It had gotten really boring. And then Hogan came on the scene with all that flash and glory. You know, and I was it was when cable TV came out, right around 82 or something. I was a huge, I think it was NWA at the time, Georgia Championship fan. I liked Georgia Championship so much more. And it was live on Saturday nights and then on Sundays. And I mean, I would kill to watch that. And I had seen Hulk Hogan on there first. I don't even know if that was his name back then. Then he showed up, I believe, on a card on Madison Square Garden, I remember, on a Monday night on cable to face Andre, and that's how the whole thing happened. But they would do all of New England, practice all those same matches, and then they would go to the Boston Garden, go to, Philadelphia Spectrum, go to Madison Square Garden, etc. But that night, it was insane. Picture that. He gets a boulder thrown through his sunroof. Then he gets fired by the McMahons. Obviously, did Rocky 3, whatever he was, Thunder Lips or whatever you call it. I can't even remember. And came back, and the rest is history. But that guy made the McMahons so much money. He was such a performer. And thanks for everything, Hulk, Terry Bollea. God bless your family. Rest in peace. Had a lot of health problems, but I think it was a cardiac event, they say. But, yeah, we lost another one. It's going to happen more. That's when the beginning of cable TV. So these guys were our heroes and women and bands and all that stuff. But that's my Hulk Hogan story. Dave Gass out.